how could we not give player turned analyst Heather O'Reilly the first question if she's in the queue? Go ahead, Heather O'Reilly.
Thanks, Hyphy. Sorry if there's a crying baby. And hi, Sophia. How are you doing?
Hi, Heather. I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good.
So I guess what I'm curious about from your perspective is, okay, so we have an extra year under Blacko now with the pandemic. So I guess my question for you is, like, how advantageous do you think that sort of is for a player like yourself to make a run at this Olympic team? And what do you think the team will be able to accomplish with some extra time under Blacko? And I say this having played under Blacko for 2 years, and both seasons, to be honest, our seasons started off slow and kind of ramped up as the year went on. So Blacko has and he'll be the first to admit to it, having a bit of a track record of needing a little bit more time to layer in some of the things that he's trying to get his teams to do. So I guess from a personal standpoint and from a team, how do you feel like some extra time will serve for the Olympic run?
Yeah, for me personally, I definitely think having time with Vlatko has helped a lot and will continue to help. As I make a run for this Olympic team, I think chemistry between players and the coach is huge, and it can go a long ways, and it can only help the team grow, especially over time. The more time you get to spend and get to know the coach, the better I think the team is as a whole. And the more you get to trust the coach and really understand why it is, why he does what he does and what the motives and the reasons are behind that. So I think that's really important. And then from the team's perspective, I just think it's kind of the same thing, just having more time, more chemistry, get to be with Vlatko in a team setting to see kind of where he sees you fit, and then kind of how he imagines us playing, what his style of play is, what his hopes for this team are. And just what the best version of this team looks like to him. It's huge for us to be able to kind of get a good picture of that, and that only comes with being able to, spend a lot of time with him in camps.
Thanks, Heo and Will. Let's go to Sophie. Sophie Nicolau, go ahead.
Hey there, Aaron. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Perfect. Sophia, hey, how you doing? Hopeful new year to you. It's always great to see young players coming into the fold. And just wondered from your perspective, when you're surrounded by players not only like Megan Rapinoe, but Carly Lloyd and other senior players who have achieved at the highest level, we've been watching them for so many years. And this year I started thinking about how they're not going to be around playing for much longer, and how even we as journalists are really going to miss covering them and seeing them play. They've empowered women not only in the sport, but on a human level too. So as a young player coming in, just wondered who your initial heroes are in the team and how they influence you going forward, not only from being a football player, but also maybe someone who wants to be an agent of change on the social scene as well.
Yeah, I mean, this team is full of heroes for a lot of young girls around the world, and me being one of them. I think just being able to be in this environment with players like Pino and Carly and Tobin when she's here, it's an honor every single time I get to step into camp and be surrounded by such amazing players and women who have done so much for the world of soccer, but also are making an impact in the world itself in all aspects. I think it's an honor to always, be able to learn from them, whether it's on the field in practice, watching them in games, seeing, what they do outside of the field, how they carry themselves, how, just how they are and what they do. It's amazing, really.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Soph.
Thanks, mate.
Let's go to Maria Monroy. Go ahead.
Hello, Sophia. What are your feelings before the match against Colombia?
I'm feeling excited. I feel really confident in the preparation that our coaches have done for us so far and will continue to do leading up to the game. I'm excited to see where the team is, and just another opportunity to, showcase what we can do and what we've been working for. I think it's important to be able to get these games in leading into the Olympics, because they're always, it's always an opportunity to grow and to see where you're at individually, to see where you're at within the team. So I'm excited for it, and I know the team's excited for it, and we have full trust in our coaching staff and staff as a whole that they will prepare us as best as we can be prepared, and then all we can do is control what we can control and focus on ourselves and just, be the best version of this team that we can be.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. It looks like we only got a couple more for Soph. Alonso Contreras. Go ahead, Alonso.
Thank you. Hi, Sophia. This is Alonso from Alice Sport Network in Seattle. Last year, when you were drafted, people were talking that you're going to make a good impact, which, I know you have a injured, then you come back, and now you're in the national team. At an early age, how do you feel that pressure? How you take the pressure?
Yeah, it is a lot of pressure, but I always try to look at it, as pressure is a privilege. So I just, I take it under my wings and I use it as motivation. I never try to put too much pressure on myself because I know that I can only control, what I can control, and that's my work ethic every time I step onto the field. So as long as I'm working as hard as I can, controlling what I can control, having a good attitude, having a good mindset, and always, trying to ask myself how I can better myself as a player, how I can contribute to the team. I think, that's doing everything that I can do. So there is a lot of pressure, but it's exciting, and I'm excited for hopefully a future on this team surrounded by such amazing, amazing soccer players and women.
Thank you, sir. Looks like we got one more. If anyone has any other questions for Soph, please raise your hand. But for now, we'll go to Seth. Go ahead, Seth.
Hey, Sophia. Seth Bertelli with Goal.com. Thanks for taking the time today. Katarina was almost certainly going to be the first pick in the NWSL draft, but she opted out and signed with Lyon today. Kind of wondering your perspective on that as the first pick in last year's draft. Was that a decision that you had to make? Did you think about going to Europe? And just kind of wondering if you feel like the system of the draft might be holding the league back in terms of players being able to kind of choose wherever they want to go in Europe, whereas in the NWSL, if you're the number one prospect, you're just going to go to whichever team holds that first pick.
Yeah, no, I think, first of all, congratulations to Kat. That's amazing, and I'm excited for her. I really enjoyed playing with her at Stanford, so I'm excited to see what the future holds for her. But that was an option that I had. I had to think about what was best for me at the time and what would be best for me in the future. But I definitely think the NWSL does a really great job, actually, of, opening its doors to anyone and everyone who has a dream of playing professional soccer. My experience entering the draft was, it was obviously a hard decision, but once I decided, it was pretty smooth sailing from there. And I know this year's different and, there's a lot of uncertainties and whatnot, but I think the NWSL has done a great job of kind of making adjustments and being flexible to allow all college players who want to enter to be able to enter, but to also possibly finish out their college season, which is, I know, important for a lot of young girls. So I think the NWSL does a great job, and I'm excited for the upcoming draft and to see who Portland picks, but also just to watch the draft and, kind of relive that moment because it was a big moment for me, and it's exciting and it's a dream come true for a lot of young women.
Thanks, Sophia.
Thank you.
Thanks, Soph. All right, last two for Soph. Steph Young, go ahead.
Hi, Sophia. Thanks for taking the time. We just had Megan Rapinoe on here talking about, the attempted white supremacist coup of our government and how it pertains specifically to the women's national team and, making space for her Black teammates and stuff. But, Megan is older and she's white, and I wanted your perspective on how you feel about the things that have been going on, both for you individually and within the team, and, just your thoughts.
Yeah, like I said, this year has been definitely a lot to handle. It's nothing new. It's just kind of come to the spotlight more so than ever this year. Personally, for me, it's been tough. Obviously, being half black, a lot of the things I can relate to, and kind of, it's hard to understand why things happen. But I know that this team is filled with amazing women who support everyone, support each other, who listen to their teammates, want to support their teammates, be allies of their teammates. So it's really a great place to be within this team during really hard times like this. And obviously, a lot of things, are going to happen that are horrible. It's just part of life. It's part of the world. But we can only hope for better years to come and for more change to come. And it's really cool to see the older players here taking a stand and using their platforms, using their voice to really initiate that change, and hopefully people follow in their footsteps.
As a really quick follow-up, based on your personal experience then, what would you say has made you feel supported as a black woman on a team, whether it's national or club or NCAA?
Yeah, so both my club team, Portland Thorns, and the national team, we've when in camp, when in market, we've had a lot of team discussions kind of about what's going on in the world, because I think one of the most important things you can do is talk about it. And for me, it's maybe to talk about it, share my experiences, share where I stand, and for other teammates, it's to ask questions, it's to educate themselves, it's to learn more about what's going on and how they can help, how they can make a difference with the platforms and voices that they have. So I felt really supported, and both the Thorns and the national team have done a really great job of making sure that this is something that's talked about and not just dismissed.
Thank you.
Thanks, Soph. Last one for Soph goes to our Colombian friend, Natalia Geraldo. Go ahead, Natalia. Oh, sorry, my bad. Now go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Sophia. Well, USA team is a world champion, and now you're playing friendly matches with a Latin American team that is venturing into professional football and hasn't even met for more than over a year. What do you expect from Colombia, and what you can leave from Colombia too?
Yeah, I mean, every opponent is a great opponent, so we respect every opponent that we may face. So that's our mindset going into it, is that Colombia is a great team. It's going to be a hard-fought match, and there's never anything that comes easy. So we're excited and also motivated for a challenge and to play against a great opponent. So it's just exciting.